First thing I did after reincarnating as a snake was get tangled up with a green snake, and with my innate mind-reading power, I found out this green snake was actually the Dragon Palace Empress recultivating her powers. Right then, she was thinking she'd skin me alive and tear out my tendons someday. Just when I thought my snake life was over, I unexpectedly awakened the 100x rebate system. Any item or favor I give to others comes back to me 100-fold. I didn't hesitate for a second, and immediately chose a binding target. A brand new binding panel appeared in front of me. I stared hard toward the karst cave, practically drooling, like I was looking at some peerless treasure. The green snake suddenly jolted violently. "What's this lecher staring at me for?" Murong Wangja glared back through gritted teeth. I had no choice but to reincarnate and recultivate. Blame the heavenly court for pushing me too far. They even laid a heaven-wide net to catch me, even though I fought my way out by the skin of my teeth. I still had to dissipate my physical body. I thought with my former Empress cultivation base, I'd quickly regain my past powers and lead the dragon clan to fight back. Who knew a tiger falls flat in a plain and is bullied by dogs? And just then, my huge body slithered straight toward her. Murong Wangge's heart skipped a beat. What's this lecher up to now? As I drew closer and closer, her tender body trembled a little, but little did she know I didn't even glance at her, and slithered off toward the mountain forest. So the heavenly court actually exists in this world, but I pushed the thought aside for now. Anyway, the first priority is to fill my stomach. As a snake, my innate sharp sense of smell and infrared perception let me easily detect any movement of living things. Within a kilometer range, when I appeared at the karst cave again, I had a mouthful of prey. The two sharp fangs in my mouth oozed an extremely deadly venom. Even the strongest beasts would drop dead in a puddle if they got even a drop on them. Seeing me come back, Murong Wangge, coiled on a rock, jumped in surprise and instinctively curled her snake body up. She'd tried to escape just now, but her body was too badly injured. Even if she used all her strength, she could only barely keep her wounds from getting worse. Spotting the food, Murong Wangge swallowed hard instinctively, watching me swallow a lion whole and feast away. Murong Wangge was this close to crying from craving, but her pride as the Dragon Palace Empress wouldn't let her show the slightest hint of begging for food. Nice act, buddy. I bit the prey with my fangs, flicked my head, and a brown bear landed right in front of Murong Wangge. Her vertical pupils were wide with shock. This is for me. Fine, I'll just take a bite. Once I regain my powers, it'll be the day this lecher dies. Murong Wang opened her massive jaws and tore the brown bear's body open in one bite, her gritted teeth furious look. It was like she was treating this brown bear as the culprit not far away. My face instantly darkened. Damn, this chick's got a persecution complex or what? Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 100x rebate reward, Danger Sense. Congratulations, host. Obtained 100x rebate reward, Super Smell. Congratulations, host. Obtained 100x rebate reward, Super Hearing. A stream of system notifications flooded my vision. When the notifications stopped, a status panel appeared in front of me. I narrowed my eyes and scanned the Divine Abilities section quickly. This 100x rebate is absolutely amazing. As expected of a cultivation grandmaster, one brown bear got her this much recovery. I didn't think twice and bit the prey in front of me directly, flicked my head, and sent a moose flying to Murong Wang's front. She was just finishing up, digesting the food she'd just eaten. With the earlier shame and anger fresh in her mind, Murong Wangge took it without hesitation, opened her massive jaws, and swallowed the food down again. The sweet sound of system notifications kept ringing in my ears. I was practically grinning from ear to ear. I didn't dare slack off and went out hunting again for 3 or 4 days straight. Birds in the sky, beasts on the ground, fish in the water, any living thing that moved in the mountain forest. Barely escaped my claws and fangs. Most of these hunted beasts ended up in Murong Wangge's stomach, watching her scales grow brighter and brighter. Even her snake body bulged a little. I could even feel from her body an intense pressure that came from biological instinct. It was like she'd been reborn. She's such a monster, I muttered, but my heart was bursting with joy. Murong Wangge's injuries had recovered at lightning speed these days, and I, the beneficiary, had made a killing. Ding! Detected mood change in bound target. Dragon Palace Empress Murong Wangge, Intimacy, Plow 1. Intimacy, the connection value between host and bound target. The higher the value, the better the rewards. From the 100x rebate. Note, if intimacy reaches 0, the binding relationship will be dissolved immediately. Ding. Detected host's intimacy with rebate target. Has broken through one synthesis option unlocked. Host may synthesize divine abilities for initial evolution. What are we waiting for? Synthesize randomly. A 8 trigrams furnace popped out of nowhere on the interface and burst into raging flames. I watched helplessly as all the mortal-grade divine abilities I'd gotten these days were all thrown in. Synthesis successful. Congratulations, host. Obtained spirit-grade divine ability. King of all beasts. Joy lit up my eyes. Right then, a blazing warm current rose from my glabella. In an instant, the scorching heat at my glabella seemed to break through the limits of my skull and burst out of my body. The sudden pain made me want to roar my head off. The scorching heat at my glabella gradually gathered and formed a sharp protruding horn. My original dozen-jang-long snake body swelled up fast, much stockier than before. Even the sensitivity of my bone conduction skyrocketed. My face was written all over with delight. Then I looked toward the karst cave. I turned into a streak of light toward the small hill nearby, opened my massive jaws and bit down on the hill. The next second, the whole hill was actually torn clean through. At the same time, Murongwange, coiled by the karst cave, digesting her food, woke up. Her breath hitched. Could it be the heavenly soldiers and generals chasing me? But she just lifted her head when she saw the small hill not far away shatter into rocks. A silvery white python over 20 zhang long, coiled on the broken rocks. How could it be him? In Murongwange's snake eyes, a flash of shock appeared. This destructive power was already no less than that of a cultivator who'd glimpsed the immortal Tao. Damn it. Murongwange's chest felt tight with frustration. Suddenly, Murongwange spotted the horn growing on my glabella. Her pupils shrank sharply. So that's it. He has Dragon Clan blood after all. But that doesn't mean anything. Now that I've fully recovered from my injuries, as long as I recultivate the Dragon Clan's techniques, I'll leave him far behind in no time. And when that day comes, even if I don't kill him, I'll ride him every single day and treat him as my mount. Murongwange knew full well that her reincarnation and recultivation couldn't escape the heavenly Tao's eyes. They'd surely wipe her out root and branch when the time came. She had to grow strong fast in this time to stand a chance of survival. Too bad mortal beasts are just plain vulgar after all. I intend to rebuild my cultivation skills, and I need demon cores from the monster clan for it. Murongwange held back her anger. She had no idea her thoughts had reached my ears word for word. My lips stiffened. I immediately cursed inwardly. Fuck, she actually wants me to be her mount? This chick's nuts. What about the so-called improved intimacy? I shook my head, opened the status panel. My face lit up. I guess this must be the Dragon Clan inheritance. Murongwange talked about. My gaze fell on Murongwange again. Looks like to get stronger, I need to figure out how to get her some demon cores. Murongwange felt uneasy under my stare. You lecher, what are you staring at? Keep staring and I'll gouge your eyes out. I was shocked. Shit, I just took a look at her, and she wants to gouge my eyes out. With a temper like this, no wonder she got tricked into reincarnating and rebuilding her cultivation. I turned and headed for the mountain forest. Before I advanced to the spirit seed stage, I dare not go near the depths of this forest at all. Every time I get close, I feel a deep fear. As soon as I stepped in, I felt the aura here was extremely special. After this aura entered my body, it kept tempering my snake body. My eyes lit up at once. I immediately raised my head and quickly absorbed the surrounding aura. Just then, I suddenly heard a bird's chirp. I just looked up and saw a huge bird diving straight at me. I twisted my body rapidly and dodged smoothly the moment. The bird's claws struck down. The ground where I'd been resting instantly caved into a big hole. Seeing this, my scalp went numb. If those claws had hit me, I would have been torn to pieces. The bird missed its strike and immediately flew at me again. I quickly twisted my snake body and retreated fast. What kind of bird is this? It's so fierce. Ding! Host encounters a level 2 snake hunting bird. Detected that Murongwange is still cultivating with demon cores. Gifting this demon core to Murongwange will grant an additional special reward. My eyes lit up at once, but soon my excitement faded. The extra reward is tempting, but this bird is way too fierce. I can't beat it. I'm not stupid, but I'm not just a plain snake either. If I can't win with brute force, can I outsmart it? I glanced around, and an idea immediately came to me. I took the initiative to let out a provocative roar at the snake hunting bird in the sky. The bird flew into a rage at once, letting out an angry cry. Then it pounced straight at me. I quickly rushed toward the vine-covered area not far ahead. Several times I almost didn't dodge in time. and got caught by the bird. The snake-hunting bird dived at me rapidly again. When it got a little closer, I suddenly sidestepped. The onrushing snake-hunting bird flew straight into the tangled vines. The bird got trapped in the vines, unable to fly up again for the moment. A smile crept into my heart. Stupid bird, you're done for. I slowly approached the trapped bird. Suddenly, I felt a powerful force, crushing down on me from all directions. I almost got pressed to the ground on the spot. What the hell is this? It's so strong. When I looked up at the snake-hunting bird again, I found the bird was being tied tighter and tighter by the vines. But thinking about that weird force just now, I felt a little worried. Oh, right, I have a divine ability. King of all beasts. As a shrill roar echoed through the mountains, countless birds and beasts fled in panic. The snake-hunting bird was also scared into squawking loudly. My giant python body bit off the bird's head in one bite. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully hunting a level 2 monster, the snake-hunting bird. Reward: 1 dragon scale. The host may place the dragon scale on any part of the body as a protective measure. In the next second, a floating dragon scale appeared in front of me, emanating waves of dragon's might. That made me a little wary. I'll place it near my heart then, just in case Murongwange tries to assassinate me someday. The dragon scale instantly appeared at my 7-inch spot, flashed with a glimmer of light, and then disappeared, completely merging into my body and becoming part of me. Soon my attention was drawn back to the snake-hunting bird. Where's the demon core? I thought for a moment, what if the demon core melts right in my mouth? I'd better leave it in its body for now. I slithered through the forest, afraid of running into another snake-hunting bird. What's that smell? No, it's a much thicker spiritual aura. Let's check it out. If I really luck out and find something good, I'll make it big in an instant. A few minutes later, I saw what it was. It was a lake. Wispy white mist rose from the lake water, and then scattered all around. Spiritual aura turned into mist. I exclaimed in surprise, unable to contain my excitement. Holy shit, I've hit the jackpot! But my exclamation had barely faded when a terrifying aura emerged. I instinctively darted back several meters. A water column shot out from the lake, releasing an aura of destruction. The water column missed me, but hit a towering giant tree nearby. The tree crashed down with a bang. That was close! Run for it! This aura is way stronger than that snake bird's. I ran for what felt like an eternity before I dared to stop. I'm still not strong enough. When I become badass someday, I'll come back and check this place out. I took deep breaths repeatedly. To calm my panic, I returned to the cave. I tossed the snake-hunting bird I'd been holding in my mouth, straight in front of Murongwange. This is a snake-hunting bird. Wait a minute. Murongwange examined the bird carefully, a flash of wariness in her eyes. She flicked out her tongue, slithered it into the flesh, and coiled out a demon core the size of a walnut. This is a demon core. Murongwange suddenly raised her head and stared at me in disbelief. If you have a good thing, eat it quickly. What's wrong with you? If she eats it, my reward's double. I shot the female snake a cold glance and returned to my resting spot. I lay down to rest. Murongwange raised her upper body, then tossed the demon core into the air and swallowed it in one bite. He's definitely strong enough. For me, if he wanted to kill me, he wouldn't use such underhanded tricks. The demon core should be fine. Before she could think anymore, the demonic power in the core erupted at once. A long-lost sense of comfort spread through her body. This made Murongwange extremely happy. She didn't know how much time had passed. Murongwange opened her eyes again. She stared excitedly at her own body. Does he simply want me to eat it? Or is he making me test the poison? Fine. Time tells a monster's true colors. Murongwange shook her head. She let go of the thought and swallowed the snake-hunting bird whole. Far away, I let out a soft snort. Time tells a monster's true colors, huh? I wouldn't go even if you begged me to. I'll wait till I can take human form, then we'll see. Ding! Murongwange takes a monster core. 100x rebate activated. Murongwange's favor for the host rises. Plum 1 point. Murongwange's favorability towards the host. 2, no way! Only 1 lousy point for a monster core. I didn't have time to overthink it. When my aura surged once more, my body grew several times larger. Ding! Congratulations to the host for becoming a rank 1 monster beast. I felt the surging power, flowing through every inch of my body. Holy crap. How did it become a ranked monster beast? Just by lying there for a bit. Murongwange's eyes were wide with shock. I snickered to myself. Nice try. I'll charm you, silly. With me looking out for her, this rebirthed empress is going to be unstoppable someday. It's gotten so big. If it tries to force itself on me, I'll burst into pieces before I even get to kill myself. I stared at it in disbelief. What the hell is that nonsense? Such dirty words. Is that something an empress would say? Even if you're interested. I'm not. All right then. Murongwange narrowed her eyes. Forget it, silver white snake. Must have stumbled on some treasure outside. Next time it goes out, I'm tagging along. It's clearly advancing much faster than me. How else am I going to get revenge for it manhandling me? My body brimmed with abundant power. I slithered my way, slowly out of the cave. Couldn't go too fast, in case the Empress gets lost. She'll start crying her eyes out. Perfect chance, follow it. Murongwange hurried to slither after it. She realized she was crawling way too slow. Murongwange gritted her teeth. You damn minion! When I reclaim my throne, I'll put a leash on you and walk you like a dog. Hearing that little snake call me a minion, I immediately picked up speed. In the blink of an eye, I slithered over 100 meters away. Murongwange panicked. Going that fast? Afraid I'll steal your precious loot. You cheapskate, she sighed in dejection, just as Murongwange was about to give up and turn back to the cave. A familiar aura appeared not far beside her. My snaketail appeared in front of her, signaling her to climb on. I had successfully transformed from a little white snake at the mercy of the rebirthed Empress into a parasitic snake that holds all the cards. As long as I have the system, I'll always be one step ahead of Murongwange. Murongwange's eyes popped open, staring at it in disbelief. She didn't hesitate, and slithered up its back in an instant, along its tail. Murongwange straightened up on my head, her upper body bathed in sunlight, utterly content. A giant silver-white python slithered swiftly through the mountains, and no beast or bird dared to approach it. Soon, the two snakes entered a dense forest. A roar echoed from the distance, sending a shockwave that made the snakes' hearts race with fear. Murongwange couldn't help but gasp, but I didn't panic one bit. I narrowed my eyes and looked toward the source of the sound. A black shadow leaped over from the distance, its rank 1 monster beast power on full display. A measly rank 1 monster beast, daring to show off its tricks. Before the orangutan even landed, I struck first. I opened my bloodthirsty maw and lunged at it fiercely. The orangutan's body swelled up, and it beat its chest in a rage, seeing the white python dare to attack first. Its eyes turned blood red in an instant. It swung its fist as big as a mountain, and smashed it toward the white python. But the white python was even faster. It twisted its head and dodged before the fist could land. In the next moment, its head latched onto the orangutan's arm and coiled its body around the beast tightly. I squeezed the orangutan with all my strength. Crushed by the immense force, the orangutan let out a skyward roar. Its bones creaked and cracked under the pressure. Once I felt its heartbeat stop completely, I finally let go. On the surface, Murongwange looked calm and collected, but inside, her mind was blown. Both are rank 1 monster beasts, and it killed it with a single move. With strength like this, I'd even shine its shoes and cut it special slack, and no one would dare question it. I scoffed to myself. A snake with a system like me is way out of your league, even 100 times over. After I let go of the orangutan, I signaled the little green snake to take the monster core. Murongwange froze for a second, still in disbelief. What's this slimy thing up to now? Is it gonna make me eat another monster core? Maybe that first monster core wasn't for detoxing at all, but the white python got it specially for me to cultivate, since I'm too weak. Is this slimy thing actually this nice? It can't be trying to trick me into having its babies, right? Murongwange's eyes flickered, a flurry of thoughts crossing her mind, but she pushed them all aside. After all, a monster core was right there in front of her. Why refuse a free meal? First, get stronger, that's all that matters. Hearing her inner thoughts, I was speechless. A woman's heart is a mystery, and this one is basically a dragon that's always dwelled in the deep sea. Her thoughts are even more unfathomable. Moments later, Murongwange's body grew a bit larger. Ding! Murongwange takes a rank 1 monster core. Congratulations to the host for unlocking the God of Cooking skill. God of Cooking? Seriously? I looked at my body. I don't even have hands to cook with. No rush, I'll save up a few more skills first, and wait to fuse them into a divine ability. The two snakes continued slithering deeper into the forest. Soon after, they encountered a rank 1 black wolf, which I killed with ease as well, just as Murongwange finished taking the second rank 1 monster core. The system's voice rang out again. Ding! System reminder for the host. Murongwange only needs 1 more rank 2 monster core to advance to a rank 1 monster beast. What? 2 rank 1 monster cores plus 2 rank 2 ones, just to become a rank 1 monster beast. What kind of insane consumption is this? I can't afford to raise this one. I took a deep breath. At the same time, Murong Wange finished absorbing the 2 rank 1 monster cores, and her aura changed completely, becoming sharper and more powerful. After taking these 3 monster cores, my strength has skyrocketed. This slimy thing did a good job. I'll graciously make it my lackey someday. Murong Wange was in a great mood, bribed her with 3 monster cores. And all I get is being her lackey. You just wait and see. When you take human form, I'll get my revenge someday. Wait, someday doesn't even cover it. I looked around and realized I had, without noticing, arrived near that spiritual altar again. I lost the fight there last time. Now I'm back for a rematch. I'm gonna get my revenge. I let out 2 hisses at once and turned to slither deep into the spiritual altar. I was thrilled. The spiritual energy here is so thick and abundant. If I could cultivate here every day, my cultivation speed would skyrocket in no time, feeling the familiar, long-missed spiritual energy all around me. She didn't stop to think twice. Coiled up right then and there, channeling my cultivation like crazy, gulping down spiritual energy in big mouthfuls. I drew near that spiritual pond. The king of all beasts unleashed its divine power first. Had to strike first to pin down that unknown monster. But the water's surface stayed perfectly calm. Just as I got closer to the still spiritual pond, edging nearer and nearer, a swarm of bubbles surged up. I knew something was wrong at once. A chill ran down my spine. A murderous aura locked onto me from the dark. Crap, I spun around fast, unleashing every bit of power in my body. Bolted for my life. A jet of water shot out from the pond, arcing through the air in a graceful parabola, hitting the exact spot I'd just been standing. That was close. What the hell is in that water? It's so damn vicious. Watched that water jet smash a huge crater in the ground with ease. My heart was pounding out of my chest. Host encounters a level 3 monster, Golden Toad. System detects a deep pond nearby. Nurturing Murong Wange here will definitely speed up her cultivation. I ran while glancing back and saw a golden toad beneath the spiritual pond. That yellow level 3 toad. Then several more attacks came crashing down, brutal as hell. I'd just fled far enough to gasp for breath. Thinking I was safe, another water jet slammed down, hitting my stomach without mercy. Agonizing pain surged through my whole body, but I still didn't stop running. Until I was miles away. That's when I finally stopped. Damn it. I caught a whiff of death just now. Lucky this loach can run fast, otherwise I'd probably be dead there. Murong Wange stared back with a look of terror. Then a fierce killing intent flashed in her eyes. A mighty female emperor, scared stiff by a damn toad. You stupid toad, just you wait. I'll kill you sooner or later, you bastard. This is a grudge Murong Wange will never forget. Go for it, Empress. Zeiss, I'm counting on you to kill it. Heard her thought. I was all for it, hands and feet up. Took me half a day to catch my breath. A level 1 monster and a level 3 one. The gap is freaking huge. Forget it, I'll lay low for a couple more days. First help that weird girl boost her power, then let her take revenge on her own. Made up my mind. I weaved through the dense forest nonstop. Where the hell are the level 2 monsters? I only ran into a snake-eating bird last time. Now not a single level 2 one in sight. Searched for ages. Found jack squat. Murong Wange was so mad she wouldn't say a word. Coiled up and started cultivating. All of a sudden, a tiger's roar cut through the air, stirring up the wind. A gust of wind rose out of nowhere in the thick mountain woods. Perfect, a tiger. This can't be a level 3 monster. I sized up the danger of that roar. The whole snake was raring to go. Murong Wange heard the tiger's roar. Her fur stood on end, so to speak. Eyed her surroundings warily. A few breaths later, the tiger finally appeared before me. It didn't attack right away, just stood far off, staring daggers at the silver giant python, wariness flashing in its eyes, and greed too. Murong Wange couldn't help but gasp. Crap, it's a level 2 monster. Host encounters a level 2 monster, tiger. System detects. Murong Wange is in dire need of a level 2 monster core. To break through her realm, Host, step up your game. Help Murong Wange grow stronger. A level 2 tiger. This ought to be fun. I tensed up on high alert, coiled my body ready. I didn't dare attack rashly. Murong Wange thought to herself, a level 2 tiger versus a level 1 python. This is a losing fight from the start. I have to bide my time in the dark. Can't let this loach throw its life away for nothing. She slithered off the white python's body without a sound, putting distance between them silently, trying to sneak attack the tiger. I shot Murong Wange a fierce glare. A measly unranked little snake daring to sneak attack. A level 2 tiger. Gotta take the initiative. Can't let this tiger lady get herself killed. The silver giant python moved with agile grace, leaped up in an instant, slithering straight onto the trunk of a big tree just to the side. The tiger leaped up right after it. opening its bloodthirsty maw wide, swinging its paw hard at the python's 7-inch spot. I roared in my heart, trying to dodge the level 2 tiger's frontal attack, but its huge mouth missed by a hair. Yet its sharp claws and fangs tore through my scales. I didn't expect it to be this fast. Burning pain spread all over my body in an instant. The air was thick with the stench of blood. It fried my nerves. I latched onto the tiger and started coiling around it. A power-charged tail strike aimed straight for its face. I'm already hurt. You gotta die for this. Agony racked every inch of me. I tensed every muscle in my body. The tiger roared in frustration, thrashing about, snapping at the snake tail coming for it. But its bite missed. The snake tail slammed hard into its head. It only snapped its jaws shut ferociously after the blow landed. I didn't give it a chance to counterattack. Coiling around its neck several times, squeezing hard like crazy, choking it to death, a tiny green snake suddenly appeared. It lashed out at the tiger's front leg with its tail without mercy, but it was still too weak. Its attack barely did any damage. Luckily, the next second, the tiger collapsed to the ground, lifeless from suffocation. Sure lives up to being a level 2 monster. The king of the forest, way tougher than that stupid bird. I panted heavily, gasping for air, collapsing onto the ground, exhausted. Murongwange stared at me coldly, not moving an inch. This loach is actually this strong. Not bad, it's earned the right to follow me. Lay there for a while. I regained some strength, pushing myself back up, coiling my upper body, grabbing the already dead tiger's body, throwing it next to the girl, signaling her to take the monster core. A flash of surprise crossed Murongwange's eyes, followed by sheer disbelief. It's telling me to take the monster core. Isn't this loach hurt? It's the one that needs the core the most right now, to heal its wounds. The little green snake shook its head repeatedly. She had no idea about its current combat power. Murongwange felt a twinge of guilt, not wanting it to suffer. This tiger lady's got a heart after all, even knows to step back for me, if I took it all for myself. That'd be the biggest loss ever. Sweated my ass off for this, and I can't even get a 100x reward from it alone. This kid's not half bad. I'll definitely reward it with plenty of heavenly treasures in the future. She glanced at its wounds again, swallowing the tiger's level 2 monster core. Ding. Murongwange has consumed the level 2 monster core. She is now breaking through the level 1 monster realm. Host triggers the 100x reward. Congratulations to Host for gaining the ability to climb trees and scale mountains. I glanced at the reward. This skill is useless. The aura in Murongwange's body surged wildly. An unknown cultivation method circulated secretly in her body, helping her absorb the monster power at breakneck speed. I also gained a massive boost in monster power. Why am I like a bottomless pit? A single level 2 monster core. Even with a 100x reward, I still can't break through to level 2. Could it be that Murongwange's cultivation method is also affecting me? Just as I was about to get used to my new power, the aura next to me suddenly turned violent, like a sign of losing control. What's going on? I stared them up and down non-stop. They looked totally confused. Suddenly, Murongwange's eyes snapped open. Her usual cold eyes held a hint of seductive evil. The next second, she was right beside me, tackled me to the ground in one move. Her strength was insane. I was shocked as hell. What the hell is this girl up to? Before I could think anymore, Murongwange wrapped her whole body around mine. Terror filled my eyes. I knew what she was about to do. She's gonna fuck me! In the end, me, the mighty one, had no choice but to give in. My innocence was gone. Afterwards, I huddled off to the side, curled up into a ball, sobbing uncontrollably, tears streaming down the snake's face. And on the other side, Murongwange slowly came to her senses, her eyes blazing with fury. Not again. I'm gonna kill you, you shitty loach. But she caught sight of the huge python, huddled up and sniffling. The anger in Murongwange's heart just vanished. Why is he even more? Forget it, not worth arguing with this shitty loach. I lost control of my powers this time, thinking about the intimacy just now. Murongwange's cheeks flushed a little. I've finally reached the first-rank monster beast realm. Wait, my bloodline has advanced a little. Murongwange knew the way to advance a bloodline. It's through constant body tempering, plus absorbing the essence blood of higher bloodline monsters. But just one intimate encounter actually purified her mixed bloodline a bit, even fused a trace of the spirit seed bloodline. Murongwange's gaze fell on the still sniffling giant python. Usually, a monster's bloodline determines its realm. Murongwange narrowed her eyes, thinking and judging carefully in her heart. This is truly incredible to me. Someday, I'll uncover all your secrets. I pouted in anger, thinking this is totally backwards. I've been treating you like a queen, and you want to dig up all my dirt? After everything I've done, I still can't win you over even a little. The two snakes were each in their own thoughts, not on the same page at all. Good thing I cried for a bit. Otherwise, she would have killed me. When I reach the second and third rank, I'll go face that golden toad. Let's head back to the cave first. I need to stabilize my realm. Just as the two snakes were about to leave, a loud bear's laugh suddenly rang out. Murongwange and I locked eyes. We froze mid-step. A brown bear with a cub came running from the distance. A flash of joy crossed my eyes. Timing is everything. A late first-rank monster beast, and a cub almost at the first rank. Murongwange thought the same. The white python will take on the mother bear. The two snakes instantly tensed for battle, each lunging at their opponent. The silver-white giant python suddenly stopped. I spun around, my tail striking straight at the mother bear's face. The mother bear took the hit to the face, flying back dozens of meters. At the same time, the other battlefield was just as fierce. The little black bear leaped up, several meters high, ready to bite off the green snake's head from above. But she dodged it. You think I'd fight a bear head-on? You really think this is my first time hunting a green snake? Striking, she opened her massive jaws, shooting a stream of crystal-clear venom. Straight for the cub's eyes. A searing pain shot through the cub's eyes. It lost all fighting power at once. Collapsing to the ground, the mother bear, just getting back on her feet, saw this, her eyes nearly popping out of her head, her voice hoarse, roaring like thunder, trying to rush over to help. But the white python was even faster, leaping into the air, slamming straight into the mother bear. The mother bear crumpled to the ground, her ribs broken, a shard of bone piercing her internal organs. She could only watch helplessly as the green snake sank its fangs into the cub's body, unable to lift a single paw to stop it. I scoffed. This is all you've got? Daring to hunt us with your cub in tow? You really think we're easy prey? I let out a cold snort, pulling out the monster core, tossing it straight to the green snake. Murongwange reached out and caught the core. She still wouldn't take anything from this shitty loach, staring at him with mixed feelings. Ding! Murongwange's favorability towards the host increases by 3 points. Current favorability of Murongwange towards the host, 5 points. 3 whole points up. Not bad at all. Wonder if there's a reward for this. Ding! Murongwange consumes a first-rank monster core. Reward for host, sure-footed. Murongwange's monster power increases. Host advances to peak first rank. Only one more monster core needed. To break through to the second-rank monster beast, just one more core. Opening the system panel. Only Beast King is a spirit-grade divine ability. All others are mortal grade. System, fuse all these mortal grade divine abilities for me. Let's see if I can get something good. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successful fusion. Obtained spirit grade divine ability, Blazing Poison Wasp. The next second, a strange itch flared up in my mouth. Then a pair of venomous fangs sprouted in his mouth. Blazing Poison Wasp. What's this do? The Blazing Poison Wasp's fangs hold a fierce, fast-acting venom against opponents of the same rank as the host. If the host successfully injects the venom into the target's body, they will die in an instant. Shock filled my heart. I never thought the venom would be this powerful. First a flood dragon horn evolved. Now venomous fangs. He was transforming into a flood dragon. Murongwange was equally shocked. She'd never heard of a snake that could evolve just by raising its rank, without absorbing the essence blood of higher bloodlines. Just as the two snakes were about to leave, the ground suddenly started to shake, as if some terrifying creature was approaching. Hearing the sound, Murongwange and I turned our heads at the same time, instantly tensing up. It's a brown bear. Before it even got close, we could smell its overwhelming life force. My heart skipped a beat. It's the mother bear's mate. Murongwange put on a brave face. It's just a brown bear. I can take it down with one hand. Ding! System detection. Host encounters a second-rank monster beast red earth bear. Hearing this, my fighting spirit flared up. Now I'm at the peak first-rank monster beast. I'm dying to fight a pure second-rank monster head-on. To test my strength, a hiss and a roar rang out at the same time. A fierce wind whipped up in the dense forest. Not far away, the brown bear's gaze swept over the two bodies on the ground. Its aura suddenly turned violent. My cub. All of you die. Its roar was deafening, like a soul attack. After roaring, it charged at the huge white python. This white python's aura was exceptionally powerful. Clearly it had consumed its mate's monster core. The white python was extremely agile, moving at blistering speed. Every step the brown bear took sent a powerful tremor through the ground. It bided its time, leaping high, ready to squash that snake's body with its rear. I scoffed inwardly. Puny thing. Thought you had some real tricks up your sleeve. Turns out you're just a complete brute. Just as the brown bear was about to sit on the snake, the white python flicked its tail fast. The brown bear plopped down on the ground, cratering the earth beneath it. And the next second, the snake's head shot right back, locking it in a deadly coil in an instant. A sickening crunch of bones came from the bear's body. Let's see just how potent this venom really is. I opened my massive maw, a pair of fangs glinting coldly in the sunlight, then sank them deep into the brown bear's flesh, injecting the venom straight in. In just 3 short minutes, the bite mark started to turn black. It was as if a fire had ignited inside the bear, on top of having several broken bones already. The poor bear was in agony. Soon the bear's blood stopped flowing entirely. That's when I finally let go of it. Gasping for breath heavily, a family sticks together, one and all. I tossed the demon core to Murongwange. Murongwange eyed the demon core greedily. You're actually giving this stinky loach to me, your empress. Did your conscience finally kick in? This is your gift after all. I never said I wanted to eat it. If you don't want it, don't blame me, she said, and swallowed the demon core right away. What a weirdo, acting all high and mighty. She wants it so bad but has to make up an excuse. Detected a shift in Murongwange's attitude towards the host. Favorability increased by 1. Current favorability of Murongwan, G towards the host. 6 points. Watching Murongwange start refining the demon core, I didn't think any more of it. Moments later, a sound came from her abdomen, like a water bubble popping loudly. I've become a rank 2 monster already. Ding! Detected! Murongwange has refined the demon core provided by the host. 100x reward activated. A surge of vital energy rushed into my body at once. My surging aura finally settled at the mid-stage of rank 2. No longer rising, Murongwange finished refining the demon core. Just opening her eyes, she was filled with immense joy. But the next second, she felt the aura of the white python in front of her had grown even more powerful and thick. Its vital energy was equally overwhelming. Murongwange stared in disbelief. Wait, he broke through again. At this rate, when will I ever get a chance to surpass him? As for me, I lay lazily on the ground sunbathing. Murongwange was furious. It must be because my cultivation method absorbed so much energy. It just has to be. Her heart was bursting with joy. Then keep up the good work, dragon girl. Grind hard and charge forward. Murongwange looked at the white python, her eyes full of fighting spirit. I will surpass you one day, mark my words. Stinky loach, just as the 2 snakes were resting. A strange aura filled the air. Murongwange and I both lifted our heads sharply, saying in unison, "What's that aura?" Murongwange's eyes narrowed. A treasure has appeared. It seems to be coming from the spirit altar. Let's go check it out right now. If we can... We have to seize that treasure. I suppressed the shock in my heart. Coiled up, the little emerald green snake sped up to full speed, rushing towards the place with the intense spiritual energy fluctuations, making Murongwange grind her teeth in anger. This stinky loach. You don't even say a word before leaving. Just bolt out of nowhere. I'll make you taste the same medicine one day. Cursing him repeatedly in her heart. Save your breath. We'll need it for the fight over there. I ran head down all the way. Soon reaching the spirit altar, Murongwange tensed up fully, on high alert. No wonder that golden toad is so powerful, yet it never came after the 2 of us. It turns out it sensed the treasure in the spirit altar in advance, hiding out here this whole time. If it had come after us, she and the white python would have been as good as dead. It hit me all of a sudden. I thought it just couldn't be bothered to chase us. Turns out it's been guarding the spiritual treasure this whole time. But now I'm a rank 2 monster. I definitely stand a chance in a fight. Golden Toad, I'll take your treasure today, mark my words. System detected. A heaven and earth treasure has appeared. Dragon blood fruit, spiritual treasure grade. Location, Fish Scale Lake. 500 meters from the host. Guarded by a rank 3 monster, the Blue Water Golden Toad. Blue Water Golden Toad. Let's see who's better in the water, you toad. Or me, the python. Soon, a sudden pressure washed over from the distance. I didn't feel a thing. My immense power nullified the pressure completely, but Murongwange could barely stand it, frozen in place by the overwhelming pressure. King of all beasts. I unleashed my own pressure at once. The 2 auras clashed head-on, bursting into a shower of sparks in the air in an instant. My rank 2 pressure couldn't intimidate the Blue Water Golden Toad, but at the very least it let Murongwange catch her breath. Murongwange felt a bitter taste in her mouth. This pressure is at least that of a rank 3 monster. The gap is just too huge. Before long, the 2 snakes neared the spirit altar's perimeter. Before we could get any closer, several water jets erupted from the spirit altar, hitting several towering giant trees, snapping them clean in half on the spot. I twisted my body frantically, narrowly dodging the deadly water jets. That was close. Those jets are insanely powerful. This blue water golden toad is really something. Undeterred, we kept charging madly towards it, until we drew near the spirit altar. Murongwange and I finally got a clear look. There was the blue water golden toad lying on a boulder. Before we could take a closer look, several more water jets shot out from the water in quick succession. Murongwange and I didn't dare to block them head on. How do we fight this thing? A rank 3 monster. We can't win in a straight fight. I need to find an opening to ambush it. Murongwange, seeing no way to win, didn't hesitate for a second, jumping off the white python's back and at once darting into the dense forest to look for an opening. Hearing her thoughts, I knew exactly what she meant. Compared to the blue water golden toad, our greatest advantage is strength in numbers. At that moment, my immense mid-stage rank 2 power was on full display. I was moving extremely fast. Finally reaching the water's edge, I dove straight in, moving just like a fish in an instant. Mastering the art of swimming in no time, I scoffed inwardly. So this is what a rank 3 monster is capable of. If all you can do is spray water, then you can't blame me for hunting you down easily. A low, destructive croak boomed out, sending huge waves surging through the water, slowing my advance to a halt. A faint stench filled the air, sending a chill down my spine. Oh no, I walked into a trap. The toad's back is covered in poison, spreading through the lake water. It lured me into the water on purpose. The blue water golden toad had been staying in the spirit lake for a long time. The water must be filled with its poison by now. In an instant, a layer of white mist covered my scales. The lake water around me bubbled like boiling water. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of meters of water around me were filled with bubbles. My snake scales are actually pretty tough. I couldn't release much of my demonic power from my body, but I could coat my scales with it to fend off the venom's attack. Shu Jinlong was amazed. Never in a million years would he have thought this flesh, which was no match for a tiger's claws, would come in handy here. Whoa, the blue water golden toad saw that it couldn't move, filled with immense joy in its heart. It had long sensed the unparalleled. Its aura knew the water blast couldn't kill or even hit the foe, so it even toned down the blast's power, luring it into the water on purpose, to catch it trapped like a turtle in a jar. But its fat all over the body jiggled uncontrollably with every move, covered in bumps the size of a human head, yet every ugly thing on it gave off a colorless, odorless, deadly poison. This was the golden toad, the real reason it never dared leave the spirit altar. And the next second, its joyful grin froze on its face. The white glow only puffed out white smoke. No harm done at all, even with tons of white mist, bubbles boiling and rising. The water temperature shooting up, the white glow still didn't land a single hit. Whoa! The blue water golden toad froze for a split second. Its greatest strength, the one that made it unbeatable, meant nothing against the foe's scales. Shu Jinlong didn't hide his killing intent one bit. His eyes cold as ice. If his facial muscles weren't so limited, he'd be sneering like a fiend right now. He twisted his body, channeling a surge of demonic power. Boosting his strength, speed, and defense to the max, Shu Jinlong's eyes blazed with overwhelming aggression, his ambition laid bare for all to see. Whoa! This silver giant python, just a second-rank monster, could easily block its venom attacks. The blue water golden toad stopped waiting for it to come, and launched an active attack. It was huge, but insanely agile, charging around like a nimble fat guy. Its ugly limbs propping it up, its body curling into a meatball in an instant, rolling in to attack, moving through the water without a hint of resistance, like on land. So unbelievably quick and light. Shu Jinlong's pupils shrank sharply. He never thought the foe's agility would be this off the charts. He had to fight against water resistance, but this massive beast felt no resistance at all. Roaring in his heart, Shu Jinlong lashed out with his tail, sweeping straight at the meatball. The blue water golden toad spun at breakneck speed, like a top whirling at full tilt, charging head-on at the giant python. The two clashed in close combat. In an instant, the thick, powerful snake tail crashed into the blue water golden toad, a huge splash of pond water, surging outward from the shockwave of their clash. In the blink of an eye, the surrounding pond water was blasted away completely. No water left. So strong. Shu Jinlong was sent flying by the immense force. The whole snake hurtled dozens of meters, slamming straight into the bank. Luckily, his scales were tough as steel. Not a single scratch on him. But the blue water golden toad was totally unharmed. It didn't step back an inch, and without even pausing to gather power, it charged right at him again. Ribbit! The meatball realized the foe had an insane physique. Its first strike hadn't hurt it one bit. The next second, it let out a roar, holding its breath and focusing its mind, channeling all its demonic power and physical strength for one strike, ready to crush it into a pulp. It'd been a long time since any monster in this dense forest could stand against it. Here it comes again! Xu Jinlong's face paled in shock. The foe was moving so fast, it left after images in its wake. He darted to the side in a flash, trying to dodge the attack. But unfortunately, right as the silver giant python's upper body got out of the attack range, the whirling top attack slammed down. Boom! Its lower body took the full brunt of the hit, crushed hard into the moss-covered stone, beneath the water on the bank. Ah! Xu Jinlong let out a scream of agony. That hit hurt like hell. A searing pain shot up from his lower body, agonizing enough to tear his heart and lungs apart. Thank God he'd moved fast. His upper body had gotten away. Otherwise, that hit would have smashed his internal organs to smithereens. He forced himself to keep fleeing, channeling demonic power like crazy to heal his damaged tail. After that blow, his tail hadn't been smashed to a pulp, but it was still in terrible shape, blood seeping out, staining his scales red. Everywhere he looked in the pond was a sea of blood. Now the tables had turned completely. The blue water golden toad unleashed a relentless barrage of attacks, while Xu Jinlong could only flee in a panic, doing his best to avoid more injuries. Why aren't you coming out? I've been waiting here for ages. It's only natural a second-rank monster can't beat a third-rank one. Hurry up and come out. I've already set up the ambush. On the bank, beneath a towering giant tree, a green snake coiled on the treetop, hidden among the leaves. Completely concealed, its aura suppressed to the absolute minimum, as if there was no snake here at all. Morongwange was getting anxious. She could see the brutal fight unfolding under the water, especially the huge waves crashing nonstop, sending chills down her spine. At first, the pond water had suddenly started boiling, white mist and bubbles billowing up constantly. Then a huge patch of water in the center had vanished out of nowhere, huge ripples spreading across the surface, the force so powerful. It echoed from the center all the way to the bank over and over. Then more huge waves had surged and crashed. Some here, some there, the waves clashing into each other. In a fierce tangle, even loud roars of pain could be heard. Under normal circumstances, Murongwange would never want to lose this white python as her ally. But if push came to shove, to save her own life, she'd have to abandon him. After all, a mere 6 points of favorability can't do much. If he insists on staying in there, then there's no way we can fight this. The golden toad's a master swimmer. Clearly a water monster. I'm a snake, just like that damn loach, but not a water snake. We're much better at fighting on land. I'm not risking my life for this. Staring for a long time, Murongwange finally said 3 words. I'll help if I can, that's all. She stood on the treetop for ages, staring at the water. And those words naturally reached Xu Jinlong's ears. What? You're laying an ambush on the bank. I thought you were diving in to find an opening. If I'd known that... Would I have taken this much of a beating? Even as he complained, Xu Jinlong's face was still ashen. Knowing her plan, he didn't hesitate in the water any longer, shooting straight up toward the surface. Ribbit, think you can run that easy? I've seen your treasure. If I don't finish you off today, you'll be a huge trouble tomorrow. The blue water golden toad chased it relentlessly, hot on its heels. It had been fighting head-on this whole time, and it had been winning all along. But this second-rank white python was just too crafty, running in circles, knowing full well it was a clumsy meatball. That couldn't turn well. This back and forth slowed it down a lot. Now the white python was swimming straight for the bank and the surface. It wasn't about to let this chance slip away. There it is. Xu Jinlong's head popped out of the water, landing on the bank, soaking wet, pond water dripping all over his body. Then he bolted straight into the land, deep in the forest, without a moment's hesitation. Right as its tail touched the ground, the blue water golden toad shot out of the water too, sending a huge splash of pond water soaring into the air. Then it rained back down like a waterfall. Ribbit! Its croak boomed like a tiger's roar, carrying a powerful shockwave. Boom! A deafening crash. The golden toad landed steadily. Its huge body and ugly face sent chills down one's spine. In the next moment, a green serpent shot out from the treetops, leaping up in an instant and lunging for the giant toad's neck to bite it. Murongwange's serpent form was no small fry, able to coil around the golden toad 2 or 3 times at the very least. She was fast, and with the element of surprise, the golden toad didn't even notice her until she landed on it. Only then did the blue water golden toad realize something was wrong. Murong Wang opened her massive jaws, her sharp fangs, sinking deep into the toad's neck. But the golden toad reacted lightning fast. Its extremely long tongue shot out of its mouth, twirling as it streaked toward the green serpent. Her venomous fangs pierced the toad's skin with a squelch, but she only managed to inject a few drops of venom before the long tongue coiled around her. Then she was hurled high into the air. Murong Wange felt her body lose all weight, flying dozens of meters in an instant. Whoosh! The blue water golden toad didn't hesitate for a second. The moment the serpent soared into the air, it shot up too. Its eyes locked on the green serpent. It opened its huge jaws, ready to swallow her whole. Must I meet my end here? I was reborn, and now I'm going to throw my life away just like this. Murong Wange was tightly clenched by the long tongue, the immense force making it impossible for her to resist. She slowly closed her eyes, her heart filled with nothing but unwillingness. Her desperate struggles only made the blue water golden toad grip her even tighter. Roar! The blue water golden toad's eyes blazed with cruelty, overflowing with triumph. You dare sneak attack me? Then you must be ready to pay the price. Its colossal tongue contracted violently, blindingly fast, like an out-of-control, scorching red steel bar blazing with heat. Just as all hope seemed lost, a giant python's hysterical hiss rang out. The silvery white giant python had appeared beside the blue water golden toad without anyone noticing. At that moment, it was coiled at the golden toad's feet. Then it slithered upward, climbing the giant toad's body, reaching its belly. Xu Jinlong unleashed 100% of his strength, contracting his body at once and squeezing the hideous toad tight. Ribbit! The blue water golden toad let its guard down, never expecting the silvery white python to get so close. This was bad, but not a big deal. But right after, an enormous force hit it, the searing pain of being squeezed shooting straight to its brain. It let out a croak in agony, and the long tongue that had been clutching the green serpent loosened in an instant. Murong Wange was mere inches from the gaping jaws. She snapped her eyes open, her pupils turning into slits, obviously terrified. But she reacted quickly. The moment she began to fall, she found a foothold at once, whirled around and lunged to bite the toad again, determined to inject every drop of venom in her body into the toad's veins. Even if it only paralyzed the toad for a minute, it would be enough. A minute was all the white python needed to coil it up tight. She didn't know when it started, but Xu Jinlong had become a great ally in Murong Wange's heart, someone she even trusted. This wasn't the same as fondness, though. Xu Jinlong had no idea about any of this. He also opened his massive jaws, revealing his razor-sharp fangs, eager to inject his own venom into their foe as well. Croak. Just as Xu Jinlong and Murong Wange thought, the two of them could take the toad down. The golden toad let out a desperate roar, as if enraged beyond measure. At that moment, it unleashed its true power at last. A thunderous croak rang out, and in the blink of an eye, it was soaring high in the sky, dozens of meters above the ground. Higher than the tallest ancient trees, it was the blue water golden toad, leaping 100 meters in a single bound. It could feel the two serpents coiled around it, and it tried to shake them off using the inertia of 2 rapid drops. Even though it was a toad, it knew how powerful a python's constriction was. It would never engage in close combat with them unless it had no other choice. No matter what, it must avoid getting into a grapple with them. The moment it shot up, Murong Wange was flung off by the enormous inertia. It wasn't that she was weak. It was that she hadn't coiled herself around the blue water golden toad properly. She'd only been focused on injecting her venom earlier. And besides, a green bamboo viper's constricting power was never that strong to begin with. What's more, a rank 1 monster trying to constrict a rank 3 monster was never a smart move. It would only tie her down, robbing her of the chance to flee at any moment, or keep her distance to dodge attacks. But she never expected this choice would put her in such great danger. Fortunately, Murong Wange was flung into the spirit altar, and she wasn't hurt at all. Instead, the moment her body touched the vast surges of spiritual energy, her cultivation technique began to circulate rapidly, replenishing the nearly depleted demonic power in her body. Spiritual energy turned into demonic power. On the other side, Xu Jinlong was still tightly coiled around the blue water golden toad's belly. He'd originally planned to use his long, slender body to coil around the toad's neck, trying to crush the bones in its neck. But he hadn't even finished coiling around it when they shot up into the sky. To avoid being flung off, he had no choice but to cling tightly to its belly, abandoning his next attack. Even though the belly was full of vital organs, It was also covered in the thickest layer of fat. Trying to strangle a rank 3 monster, as a mid-rank 2 monster, was possible, but squeezing its belly would never do the trick. First and foremost, when a python hunts its prey, it always crushes the prey's windpipe first to kill it, and only then does it break the prey's bones with its constriction. That was exactly what Shujin Long had intended to do, but he'd been forced to abandon the plan when they flew into the sky. He was utterly helpless. It was the only option he had. Soon the blue water golden toad reached the highest point, and it saw the silvery white python, still clinging tightly to it, refusing to let go. Its short, stubby limbs were useless against the python's grip, so it could only rely on its powerful leaping ability to smash the python off, competing in strength with a rank 2 python using its tongue. Don't be ridiculous. As long as it could fling the white python off, the blue water golden toad had 100 ways to kill it. For example, it could pin the python down with its tongue for just a few breaths, then tear off a chunk of its flesh with all its strength, rip off a scale, and finally inject its venom into the wound. Or it could leap into the air again and crush the white python to death with its massive body. Unfortunately, the white python was far too strong. Aside from being unable to deliver a fatal blow, its constriction was perfect in every way. The golden toad channeled all its demonic power, speeding up its descent, trying to send the python flying the moment they hit the ground. Flying the moment they crashed into the earth. You beast. It was Shujin Long's first time flying so high, and he screamed in terror, never having been this high up in his life. He was absolutely petrified, but little did he know. His scream sounded like a provocation to the blue water golden toad, its cartwheel-sized eyes bloodshot, filled with madness. With the birth of the spiritual treasure drawing nearer and nearer, it had to end this fight quickly. It had to win fast. That earlier spiritual energy surge had actually been an omen of the spiritual treasure's birth. Soon a deafening bang resounded, and the python and the toad crashed into the ground at once, sending a cloud of yellow dust billowing into the air, even blasting the nearby weeds straight out of the soil and into the air. Shujin Long tightened his coils and roared in his heart. The sheer inertia made him feel like he was going to crash right down, but he clung on for dear life. The azure water golden toad's belly caved in deep, and after he gave it everything he had, he finally didn't get thrown off. Just as Murong Wange lunged forward again, ready to sneak attack, the azure water golden toad leaped up into the air once more. Without a second thought, it bounced right back up almost the second it hit the ground. This time, Shujin Long snapped back to his senses. He could sink his fangs into its belly and inject venom. That sudden surge upward had short-circuited his brain for a moment, but he wasn't going to let this chance slip by now. Shujin Long even tensed up his hindquarters, just to wrap himself tight around it. He opened his massive maw, and his venomous fangs sank into the toad's body in an instant. The barbed fangs made it nearly impossible to pull them out, unless Shujin Long retracted them himself. Taste my blazing venom wasps. High up in the air, the azure water golden toad soared again, reaching an even greater height. And right then, a malicious grin crossed Shujin Long's mind. He drove his fangs deeper into its flesh, hardly breaking a sweat, piercing its steel-hard skin. A snake's fangs can retract just like a cat's claws. These curved venomous fangs are perfect for staying put when the prey struggles, and the retractable design lets the snake control them with ease. They're incredibly flexible yet tough as nails. The azure water golden toad has no neck, so it can't lower its head to see what's on its belly. But it sure as hell felt it, something sharp sinking deep into its body. The crystal serpent is huge, and so are its fangs. It was impossible to miss. Then a frigid liquid pumped into its veins. The azure water golden toad felt it all over its body. First, a bone-chilling cold. The venom seeped into its blood in an instant, circulating through its arteries and veins. The first sensation was icy cold. Its whole body went stiff. It couldn't move a muscle. It tried to muster its demonic power to fight off the liquid and force it out of its body. Right at that moment, the azure water golden toad was about to hit the ground. Its frozen limbs were going to make this fall a nasty one, leaving it badly hurt. But unfortunately, the venom quickly turned blistering hot, and almost the second it was about to land, the toad could move again. Thud! It landed firmly on its feet. The azure water golden toad croaked non-stop, thinking its demonic power had driven the venom out. But the next second, its expression froze solid. Its body temperature spiked wildly. It was like a fire had ignited in its veins. A searing, burning pain shot to its brain. Its insides felt like they were being roasted alive. Gah! It felt like a huge buildup of gas was swelling inside it, no doubt from the burning venom. In the span of just a minute, the azure water golden toad felt the extreme of ice and fire, agonizing beyond belief. Its blood vessels throbbed and constricted, like they were going to burst at any second. Gah! It strained with all its might, trying to jump back to the spirit altar to cool down. It summoned every last bit of strength in its body. For one more leap, if it could just get up there, it'd land safely on the spirit altar. The altar would heal all its wounds. But sadly, the azure water golden toad's thoughts grew sluggish. Its mind dull and foggy, it stared wide-eyed. A wave of exhaustion washed over its mind. It even felt like closing its eyes and sleeping. If you could see inside its body, you'd see something incredible. Once the venom entered its body, thanks to the toad's powerful cultivation, its heart beat at a furious pace, its blood rushing through its veins at breakneck speed. In the blink of an eye, the toxin spread to every corner of its body, striking at every vital part. At first, the venom was cold, of course. Cold as the depths of an ice cave. Then, the crystal-clear white venom turned bright red in an instant, hot as molten lava, clinging tightly to the insides of its blood vessels. And its organs, its demonic power rushed in. But it couldn't drive the venom out at all. It was completely helpless against it. Then a mass of bubbles started to form, eating away at the inner walls of the crystal toad's blood vessels and internal organs, attacking it from the inside out. An excruciating pain shot through it, jolting the drowsy toad wide awake in an instant. But unfortunately, the searing pain paralyzed the azure water golden toad. It crumpled to the ground at once. Croak! 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 It let out a deafening cry. Agony, anger, resentment, even a hint of begging for mercy. Though the intense pain wasn't going to kill it right away, it was more than enough to leave the azure water golden toad defenseless. Its life now in the hands of its enemy. Is my venom really this powerful? Anything the system makes is top-tier stuff. Su Jinlong thought to himself in awe. He never would have thought that a few dozen liters of venom could inflict such agony on a rank 3 demonic beast. But awe aside, he didn't stop his movements. He coiled around toward its windpipe, determined to finish it off quickly and end this trouble once and for all. This fight had left him nearly drained, with barely any strength left. Is his venom really that strong? It's clearly a python, yet it's evolved venomous fangs. And not just fangs. The venom is insanely potent too. This palace is getting more and more curious about this pesky mudfish. Morong Wange watched the whole scene from the side, her eyes taking in every detail. What could she even say? It's already down for the count. No need for her to step in anymore. Even with such powerful venom, the azure water golden toad still clung on for nearly half an hour, before dying an agonizing death. Too much fat on its bones, hard to kill. The poor azure water golden toad never figured it out till its last breath. How a python, the hell grew venomous fangs, and such damn powerful venom at that. It's not fair. Snakes are meant for close quarters brawling. It's one thing this python's stronger than the toad. It knew the snake was strong, but this venom, the azure water golden toad never understood, that it died to the venomous fangs of a python. I know I turned it on, no need to check. Turn it off, this is boring. Only when the azure water golden toad's heart stopped beating entirely did Su Jinlong slither off its body. If it was the same rank, it'd be dead in 4 or 5 minutes, but fighting a rank above, it takes 40 or 50 minutes. That's already insanely overpowered. Once it's in your system, there's no getting rid of it. You're as good as dead. It just depends how long it takes for the venom to finish you off. Finally dead. This toad's been keeping its distance from me this whole time. Real careful and crafty, as he replayed the fight in his mind. Su Jinlong carefully went over the details of fighting a higher rank foe, and his battle experience. He noticed that at the start of the fight, it had hit him with a water blast first, spitting poison again for an attack. It just refuses to use its freaky physical strength at all. This golden toad is way too cautious, seriously. Even when it turns into a meatball, it's still super crafty. As a giant python, there's no way to coil around a fast-moving meatball, until Su Jinlong was forced back step by step, and was completely on the back foot when he got to shore. That golden toad chased him out to finish him off. If it weren't for the python's venomous fangs, turning the tables and killing it outright, everything would have gone exactly as the blue water golden toad planned. In this fight, it was a close call. Shan, hurry up and feed Morong Wang this! Let me recover my strength. See if I can level up to a rank 3 monster beast too. Fought for so long, I'm beat to a pulp. Su Jinlong let out a heavy breath, looking utterly exhausted. I'm so damn tired. A rank 3 monster beast is truly worthy of the name. It must have some bloodline power in it. Maybe starting from rank 3. All monster beasts have a precious bloodline. Those without a bloodline might make it to rank 1 by chance. Even rank 2 isn't impossible. But rank 3 is never a matter of luck. Lightning never strikes twice, let alone 3 times. Before long, Xu Jinlong found the monster core and tossed it straight to the green snake. Without a moment's hesitation, resolute as ever. Handing this monster core to me, Murong Wange caught the monster core, but didn't hurry to swallow it. Instead, she froze on the spot. He'd given her so many monster cores before, and she'd never eaten a single one. She was kind of used to it. But this isn't right. Why is he being so nice to her? For a moment, her heart was filled with gratitude, yet also utter disbelief. It made her feel an odd twinge in her heart, but she couldn't put her finger on it. What on earth is going on? Murong Wange's expression was a mess, her eyes swirling with all kinds of emotions. Gratitude, confusion, bewilderment. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Xu Jinlong signaled her to swallow it quickly. Seeing this, Murong Wange stopped hesitating and swallowed it in one gulp. This is a good thing. Why hesitate? He offered it to me voluntarily. I've been watching the whole time. He didn't do anything fishy. Just take it as his atonement to me. Murong Wange thought back to her 2 impulsive outbursts, figuring this was his way of making amends for his reckless acts. That's what she told herself, but her heart knew otherwise. What the truth really was, only Murong Wange herself knew. Ding! Detected Murong Wange's mental state has changed again, increasing favorability by 5 points. Current favorability of Murong Wange towards the host, 11 points. Whoa, that much? What's wrong with this crazy girl? Her conscience finally kicked in. Xu Jinlong was utterly shocked inside. Never in a million years would he have thought he'd get a full 5 points of favorability. Could it be that all the silent efforts I made before finally paid off, making her realize all the good I've done for her? Must be it. The rank 3 monster core went down, and a massive surge of monster power was about to flood into Murong Wange's body. But right at that moment, her cultivation technique started running at full speed. The monster power throughout her snake body was frantically refined. The impure demonic energy was expelled from her body, leaving only the elite condensed monster power behind. This refined monster power was far more abundant than the unrefined kind just absorbed into the body. As a monster beast, spiritual energy is drawn into the body and transformed into monster power by the monster core. It works just like spiritual energy. It just aligns better with the operation of bloodline cultivation techniques. A huge amount of monster power vanished, and Murong Wange's cultivation rose a tier, making her a late rank 1 monster beast. A mighty rank 3 monster beast's core only let her level up a little bit. Meanwhile, Xu Jinlong's strength was rapidly recovering, but he didn't break through to late rank 2. It was not only the feedback from her running her cultivation technique, but also the leftover energy after mending his physical injuries. Still, he was not far from late rank 2 at all. Ding. System detected. Murong Wange has consumed the monster core provided by the host. 100x rebate reward. Host divine ability. Scale hardening. Scale hardening can activate monster power when needed to transform the original skin and snake scales into much harder scales. Damage taken can be blocked by consuming monster power. Simply put, it's using monster power to block attacks. If I'd had this in the water earlier, I wouldn't have been so helpless against those crystal tentacles chasing me. Xu Jinlong hesitated to speak, thinking this divine ability came way too late. And it's only a mortal grade ability at that. It's not even a good treasure. Just as the 2 snakes were about to soak in the spiritual altar, a strange phenomenon suddenly appeared. A flash of spiritual light burst forth from the altar, shining with boundless radiance, shooting out countless beams of brilliant light. It was like there was a nuclear-powered light bulb hidden in the altar. System detected a spiritual treasure has appeared. The spiritual treasure is a dragon blood fruit. When a monster beast consumes the dragon blood fruit, it can greatly enhance its monster bloodline. Monster beasts without a bloodline can purify their bloodline. Those with a bloodline can upgrade their bloodline level, regardless of their species. System detected Murong Wange's bloodline needs enhancement. Please host proceed to the spiritual altar to pluck the dragon blood fruit and feed it to Murong Wange. As soon as these words were spoken, Xu Jinlong stopped thinking entirely and dived straight into the spiritual altar without a word. But he instantly regretted it as soon as he got in. The light is way too bright. It stung his eyes so bad he couldn't open them. On the shore, Murong Wange watched the strange phenomenon warily, afraid to dive in easily. But when she saw the white python dive in, she gritted her silver teeth and followed his figure into the deep pool. The deep pool was extremely deep, at least 100 meters down, The light was emanating from the deepest part. The golden toad had only stayed in the shallow water before. Shallow water, yet that was still a good 50 to 60 meters deep. But the further down they went, the bone-chillingly cold it got. It was freezing cold. Even Shujin Long could barely stand it. The spiritual energy here was so dense, it seemed to have turned into liquid spiritual energy. But he couldn't tell for sure, because he'd only ever absorbed a little spiritual energy through his nose. He'd never actively run his cultivation technique to absorb it. Even if it was liquid spiritual energy, he wouldn't absorb it. He'd leave it all for Murong Wangi. The bottom of the pool had always been pitch black, dark and lifeless. But under the glow of that light, he still couldn't see a thing. It was no different. Too bright and too dark both leave you blind. What's the difference anyway? The dark green pool water was blazed white by the light, showing just how intense the light was. Suddenly, Xu Jinlong sensed a fruit with a mighty aura, filled with abundant life force. That's the one. He followed the aura into the spiritual altar. There can't be anything else here, because the blue water golden toad dared to stay in the shallow water, which means there's nothing in the deep water that can threaten it. He opened his mouth. Just to be safe, he spewed out venom anyway, letting it spread with the current, just in case. That's exactly what the golden toad did too. This dragon blood fruit is freaking awesome. Holy crap, he had no idea how much time passed. Xu Jinlong finally felt around and found the dragon blood fruit. It was a fruit the size of a human head, pure white all over. Its pure white shape was actually that of a dragon, like a coiled up dragon, just like the Sorcerer Supreme, hanging on the wall in that adventure cartoon. Xu Jinlong gently took the dragon blood in his mouth, getting ready to head back to land. The moment the dragon blood left that body part, the light vanished in an instant. He looked down. There was nothing at all below, like an abyss, bottomless, just pure black, nothing to see. Lift your head and you'll see the sparkling water surface. You can see the light. The light was way too bright just now, so Xu Jinlong just kept his eyes closed, moving forward only by his senses, so the light fading didn't affect him much. He'd just swum out of the deep water. When Xu Jinlong saw her, Murong Wangi waiting in the shallow water. It's freezing down there. This empress can't take it anymore. This green bamboo viper's innate bloodline is just too impure. It's basically non-existent. I'm only able to cultivate with my own skills. Murong Wangi ranted about her bloodline non-stop, absolutely disgusted by it. Seeing her still complaining about her bloodline, not even knowing what kind of treasure this was, Xu Jinlong tossed the fist-sized dragon blood fruit right at her. Hurry and swallow this dragon blood fruit, just as the two serpents were about to rest for a bit. A moment, Xu Jinlong suddenly sensed several auras in the distance, heading straight for them. They obviously noticed the third-rank monster's aura was gone. Come to get a piece of the pie. Xu Jinlong steeled himself again. He hastily forced the dragon blood fruit into the green snake's mouth. Murong Wangi had no idea why he was being so rough all of a sudden. She swallowed the dragon blood fruit before she could react. That fist-sized, true dragon-like fruit had just slid into her stomach, when it instantly turned into a pulp. And outside, the pure white skin melted into a milk-like liquid, revealing the blood-red flesh inside. In an instant, Murong Wang's body temperature spiked. The dragon blood fruit was being frantically absorbed in her stomach. In just a few seconds, the dragon blood fruit was completely absorbed, all of it turning into nourishment for this dragon empress, successfully merging into her bloodline. Ah, my bloodline is evolving. Murong Wangi let out a painful hiss. The pain of evolution is worse than skinning and bone breaking. This is a bloodline evolution across ranks, not a gradual absorption by rank. Evolving with essence blood a rank higher than her own, a massive surge of energy filled the green snake's body. In a flash, Murong Wangi's outer skin visibly transformed into light armor, clinging to her scales like steel. The green bamboo viper's body began to evolve on the outside, looking just like a flood dragon. But not a true flood dragon yet. A hybrid of flood dragon and snake. A flood dragon is the stage before a jiao evolves into a dragon, and a jiao snake is the stage before a snake evolves into a jiao. Simply put, a jiao snake hybrid, a small bud sprouted on her head and stopped growing. 2 whiskers grew from her nose, tiny against her huge body. Her green snake body grew several times larger, almost matching the white python in size. Her original green scales shed in an instant, revealing the skin underneath, smooth and delicate, yet still serpentine. Don't get the wrong idea. It hardened rock solid in just a few seconds. Her body was evolving into a jiao snake, and the evolution was finally complete, in no time at all. Murong Wangi's evolution was done. She was eager to feel the changes in her bloodline. Didn't care about anything else. Ding! System detects that bound host. Murong Wange has completed bloodline evolution. Instant 100x rebate activated. The system's emotionless voice rang in Xu Jinlong's mind. In an instant, the silver python's body grew a bit bigger. The small jiao horn on his forehead evolved once more, shining like a unicorn's horn. It was obvious. The next evolution would split the horn into branches, but this time it only evolved into a single main horn. And the horn wasn't the only change. Xu Jinlong shed his silver scales. For a moment, a new layer of tough, solid scales grew in their place. Only the dragon scale on his chest remained unchanged. A pair of whiskers burst out from under his nose. His nostrils grew wider, his eyes bigger. His facial features became defined, no longer the blunt features of a python. He'd officially started his evolution into a jiao snake. In the blink of an eye, white mist swirled around him. His facial features looked almost human. Ding! Congratulations to host for officially evolving into a jiao snake. Cloud Chongjiao, top-tier spiritual breed. Host may now evolve into a flood dragon, awaiting host's next evolution. His scales shed, and Xu Jinlong was no longer a white dragon horse, but a white dragon jiao. Even if it was the lowest rank of jiao, it was still a flood dragon. His horns weren't fully evolved, nor his dragon whiskers, only tiny buds for limbs. Barely noticeable. The biggest boost was his scale defense, and the changes to his head. Marks of his evolution into a jiao snake. Wait, why did he evolve too? I'm the one who ate the dragon blood fruit. What trick did this stinky loach use to evolve? Could it be this stinky loach is a powerful expert reincarnated? With a bloodline evolution technique, suddenly a thought crossed Murong Wange's mind. About the white python. No, the Cloud Chongjiao, a bold thought. If that's the case, everything makes sense. Rejecting other monster cores to keep his demonic power pure. Turning down monster cores from other races, and not eating the dragon blood fruit himself. Because he has a more powerful technique to boost his bloodline, and the original white python, which seemed ordinary, actually harbored a trace of top-tier dragon bloodline. With the technique of this reincarnated expert, he can fully upgrade his bloodline. It all adds up. So that's it. I underestimated this stinky loach before. Not bad. Now you're qualified to be my bodyguard. Murong Wange made up an entire story in her head, a reasonable explanation. Now everything clicked. His aura was clearly that of a top-tier jiao snake, not far from becoming a true flood dragon. A strong curiosity welled up in her heart. She was dying to know which powerful expert he was in his past life. Murong Wange calmed down a bit, but her mouth was still as sharp as ever. Still running her mouth. Fine, I'll change how I address you from now on, so I don't slip up and say something I shouldn't. When we can talk later, the idea of him being a reincarnated expert took root in Murong Wange's mind, and she believed it wholeheartedly. Her attitude shifted in an instant. She felt more than just curiosity for him. A little fondness crept in too. Good on you for knowing your place. Be nice to me from now on. It's not too late for you to shape up. Hearing her thoughts, Xu Jinlong was over the moon. Ecstatic. He didn't have to say a word. And that crazy girl made up all the reasons herself. So thoughtful. Like she knew him inside out. Of course. One dragon blood fruit wouldn't boost a bloodline that much on its own. Take Murong Wange, for example. She only evolved from a green bamboo viper to a half-jiao snake. But the 100x rebate shot Xu Jinlong straight from a white dragon python to a Cloud Chongjiao. This kind of treasure was one of the rarest good things in the lower realm. It seemed like all these evolutions took forever, but in reality barely any time had passed. Just a few minutes at most. Just as Xu Jinlong and Murong Wange were still basking in the afterglow of their bloodline advancement and the immense power it brought. Countless figures came rushing from the distance, including those of the second and third ranks. And first-rank ones were simply innumerable, sweeping over like a tidal wave. A jumbled, pungent stench wafted over from afar, and Xu Jinlong knew the enemies were here. Roar. Flying in the sky, running on the ground. They had it all. Tigers, bears, and boars led the pack, followed by all sorts of fierce beasts. Wolves, eagles, and apes in droves. Enemies approaching! Xu Jinlong and Murong Wange exchanged a glance, both cracking their knuckles, eager for the fight as the foes drew near. Xu Jinlong and Murong Wange didn't show an ounce of fear. Instead, they were filled with intense excitement, burning with battle intent. They couldn't wait to throw themselves into a brutal fistfight with the enemy. Bloodline advancement didn't boost their cultivation realm, but it sure cranked up their combat power. Their vital energy and blood grew far more vigorous. Their strength, defense, attack power, agility, all of it got a corresponding boost. All kinds of fierce beasts finally came into Xu Jinlong and Murong Wange's sight. They let out all manner of howls and snarls. showcasing their ferocity before the battle. In the blink of an eye, the fight began. The two flood dragons opened their bloody maws at once, spitting out a torrent of venom. Roar! Before the clash even truly started! Several second-rank beasts fell to the venom's assault. The venom splattered into their eyes, corroding them the second it made contact. Billowing white smoke rising from their sockets, these beasts crumpled to the ground, writhing in agony, blinded. What was strange, though, was that so many beasts could unite as one to take on the two of them, king of all beasts. Without a word, Shu Jinlong unleashed his aura domain. In an instant, at least 100 first-rank beasts were pinned to the ground, unable to rise. The aura of the Beast King blended with the bloodline suppression of a second-rank beast. Neither first nor second rank could stand against it, for he was a flood dragon with an overpowered bloodline. Dare to covet my chance at greatness. You all shall become the nourishment for my path to the supreme. Murong Wangi shouted in sheer exhilaration, her excitement spiking even more at the sight of blood. Her speed was blistering fast. A single swipe of her tail sent several first-rank beasts to their deaths. Their skulls split open, brains splattering everywhere. What you're facing now are some of the very few flood dragons in the mortal realm. Tremble, you worthless scum with lowly bloodlines. Shu Jinlong sneered coldly in his heart. He thought the flood dragon bloodline of the mortal realm was already insanely powerful. Somehow, the two flood dragons had an inexplicable husband and wife synergy. Their every move was identical. The only difference was a single tail swipe from the Azure Cloud flood dragon killed 3 to 4 second-rank beasts instead. A tiger, a bear, and 2 boars with massive, protruding fangs. None of them lasted a single strike. One tail swipe sent them crashing to the ground, stripped of all ability to fight back. Just then, a horde of giant birds flew over from the distance, letting out shrill screeches non-stop. Screech. 2 against 100, the odds are in my favor. Shu Jinlong let out a cold snort in his heart, his eyes filled with contempt and disdain. In the next moment, he leaped into the air out of nowhere, charging straight for the eagles and vultures. Usually it's these birds that hunt snakes. But today, a flood dragon was freely slaughtering these feathered fiends, and he was loving every second of it. That's right, this levitation trick was one of the skills he gained from evolving into a flood dragon. With this skill, Shu Jinlong could fly and hover for a short while. He hadn't had the chance to test just how long yet. If you weren't circling in the sky, how could you ever stand a chance against me, a flood dragon on the ground? As the words left his mouth, the eagle and vulture beasts flapped their wings in a panic to dodge, but they were no match for the white flood dragon's speed. He darted past them, slaying them with effortless ease. Even some second-rank beasts fell to his brutal assault. Third-rank ones, too. This was the true power of the flood dragon bloodline. A superior bloodline meant a gap that couldn't be closed by 1 or 2 ranks. So what if you're third rank? So what if you're 1 rank above me? Shu Jinlong first sank his teeth into an eagle, swallowing it whole in one massive gulp. Then he whipped his head around in an instant, his tail sweeping in with a sonic boom. Its speed, its power, were simply beyond what these third and second-rank birds and beasts could withstand. In an instant, more than a dozen birds plummeted from the sky, crashing to the ground dead on impact. Some had their necks snapped in one bite. Some were chewed twice in his jaws, their bones shattering into splinters, piercing their internal organs and killing them instantly. Some even died of sheer fright from his overwhelming bloodline suppression. You only think you stand a chance because you outnumber me, able to pin me down for a little while. You're all just worthless trash with lowly bloodlines. On the ground, Murong Wange was also driven into a rage. As a flood dragon with no limbs, she struggled to fend off the endless beast attacks, but her tough scales kept her unharmed. Instead, they pushed her to unleash her full power. The green flood dragon leaped up, coiling around several beasts in quick succession, and with a violent twist, their heads rolled to the ground, the air filled with a sickening stench of iron and blood gushing out like waterfalls, dyeing the ground red. Just as Murong Wange was turning the tide of the battle on her own, Shu Jinlong also returned to the ground. Should I push this crazy girl a little to unlock more of her combat power? The thought had barely crossed Shu Jinlong's mind when he shook his head and dismissed it. He was a flood dragon with a system. Why would he let his companion risk her life, even though that's what he thought? He quickly joined the fray anyway. Murong Wange had already been gaining the upper hand on her own, let alone with Shu Jinlong by her side. Slaughtering the beasts was now a walk in the park. Their attack methods were limited, but their scales were incredibly thick and tough. Mere second and third rank beasts could never break through their defense. Die, all of you. In just over half an hour, every single beast that had come to attack was dead. Not a single one left breathing. If you're not strong enough, don't covet what you don't deserve. Murongwang let out a cold snort. She didn't even bother eating the corpses anymore. She just plucked out their beast cores one by one, planning to take them later. Weird. What made all these beasts band together? To attack the two of us in unison. If they were the same species, it'd be easy to explain. They're all family. But this is different. All kinds of beasts gathered together, all targeting the two of us. There's definitely something fishy going on here. Just as Xu Jinlong and Murongwange thought the ordeal was finally over, and they could look forward to a huge leap in their cultivation. An overwhelmingly powerful aura descended upon the area. Hand over the treasure. A giant tortoise with deep green scales appeared before them, emanating a destructive aura from every inch of its body. Incredibly powerful. Crap, this turtle's rank is off the charts, Xu Jinlong thought to himself in alarm. The bad thing was that this turtle could actually talk. It had clearly refined the transverse bone in its throat. Any beast that could speak was at least a 4th rank. Murongwange was equally shocked, never expecting their fight to attract a 4th rank beast. So that's why it didn't show up earlier. This is why it's here now. That monster's actually a freaking turtle. Host Ding stumbles upon a rank 5 monster, the black iron turtle. Low-grade spirit breed. Originally, Xu Jinlong thought it was just a rank 4 monster. Same as Murongwange, but everything changed when the system's voice popped up. Can't fight it, we're no match. No way to win this fight. After the system warned him that the black iron turtle was a rank 5 monster, Xu Jinlong's heart skipped a beat. The first thought in his head was to run for his life. As soon as the thought of fleeing crossed his mind, Xu Jinlong immediately tried to coil his tail around Murongwange, planning to escape with her, but unexpectedly the green snake struggled free, refusing to flee. How could this empress be scared off by a mere turtle? We must not back down. This spirit spring is crucial. We can never hand it over to others. Murongwange's resolve was unshakable. She would not let the cultivation treasure, the spirit spring, fall into anyone else's hands. She'd fight to the death to keep it. The turtle was already incredibly powerful, and if they gave up now, their chances of taking it back later would be slim to none. Maybe they could get it back someday, but there's no need to throw their lives away for it. Why is this crazy girl being so stubborn right now? Didn't we agree to be careful, super careful? Hearing her thoughts, Xu Jinlong wore a complicated expression. With no other choice, he forcefully coiled his tail around her again, trying to get her to evacuate at once. But his second attempt was rejected too. Why is this damn loach being such a coward? He seemed so brave just a moment ago. Murongwange stared intently at the black iron turtle, which loomed like a small mountain, slowly approaching from the distance. The ground shook violently with every step it took, like an earthquake. Interesting, you dare not run. Hand over the treasure at once. This sovereign may spare the two of you snakes. The black iron turtle narrowed its eyes slightly, instantly sensing the abundant bloodlines in the two snakes. It even felt a hint of wariness towards them, but with its immense strength, it had no reason to fear them at all. It just wanted them to hand over the treasure first. Then it would torture and kill them. Otherwise, the treasure might get damaged in the fight. Impossible, Murongwange thought to herself. She hissed loudly. A clear warning. This is a freaking rank 5 monster. Xu Jinlong was panicking. She just refused to leave no matter what. Worse still, he couldn't speak to reason with her. It was driving him crazy. How dare you resist? The giant turtle laughed in anger. It heard the defiance in her hiss, and without another moment's hesitation, it unleashed a surge of its demonic power, whipping up 1,000 layers of wind that swept through the dense forest. The wind howled violently, so strong it even made Murongwang struggle to stand straight. You're just a lousy rank 1 monster. Why the hell are you picking a fight with a rank 5? Let's go! But the green snake wouldn't budge. Xu Jinlong couldn't leave her behind either. He clung tightly to her tail, pulling with all his might. Finally, he hardened his heart, and with a burst of strength, he managed to yank Murongwange's body. It hurts, damn loach. Let go of this empress. Murongwange struggled, determined to fight the rank 5 monster to the death. Perhaps she didn't understand the true power of the black iron turtle, still thinking it was only rank 4. She thought that with Xu Jinlong by her side, they could fight it to the bitter end. Or maybe her empress heart hadn't fully adapted to her current form, and she refused to give up the precious land she had worked so hard to find. For all these reasons, Murongwange was blinded by her emotions. The black iron turtle was enormous, and its strength was unparalleled, but its speed was truly abysmal. However, its attack range was enormous, which perfectly made up for its lack of speed. Suddenly a divine ability, shaped like a turtle's horn and overflowing with demonic power, descended from the sky. Boom! Before it even hit the ground. The fallen leaves on the ground were blown away in all directions. Shujinlong and Murong Wange were right in the center of the attack. Oh no. Shujinlong gritted his teeth, let out a roar of anger, and fled as fast as he could. But it was still not fast enough. Both snakes were hit square on. The massive divine ability was not slow at all. It crashed into the ground in the blink of an eye. In an instant, the two snakes were sent flying hundreds of meters, smashing countless big trees along the way. They only survived by virtue of their powerful bloodlines. A rank 5 monster is this strong? Xu Jinlong spat out a mouthful of blood, finding that his internal organs had been shaken out of place. Every time he moved, he was racked with excruciating pain, agony that pierced his very soul. However, the dragon scale the system had rewarded him with, which protected his heart meridian, was glowing faintly. It had clearly blocked a huge amount of the damage. As for Murong Wange, her situation was extremely dire. She spat out blood, and every single scale on her body was shattered. And that was not all. The broken scales had pierced back into her body, inflicting secondary injuries. Her body was a mangled mess on the outside, with countless cracks spreading across her skin, oozing bright red blood. Even a slight move, and one could see her massive internal organs and bones beneath the cracks. Murong Wange's pupils dilated. She never thought she would be so utterly powerless. The black iron turtle may not be fast, but it could channel its demonic power at an astonishing speed. She couldn't utter a single word. Let's go! Xu Jinlong clenched his teeth, fighting through the pain, coiled his tail around Murong Wange, and fled into the distance with all his remaining strength. It didn't matter where they went. The only thing that mattered was getting far away from that damn turtle. In the distance, the black iron turtle's attention was drawn elsewhere, paying no more attention to Xu Jinlong and Murong Wange, because it could sense clearly that they were just a rank 2 monster and a rank 1 monster. Their bloodlines were a bit special, but they could never have survived that attack. This spirit-rich spring water is quite interesting. From now on, this place belongs to this sovereign. The black iron turtle's attention was completely captured by the spirit-abundant spirit spring, and it had no time for those two damn loaches. A rank 2 and a rank 1 monster. No matter how fast they advance in rank, how strong can they get? Besides, this sovereign used a full 60% of its power for that attack. A rank 5 slapping a rank 2, and a rank 1 with all its might. Who would believe they're still alive if word gets out? The black iron turtle looked at the spirit spring and said, "If this sovereign guesses right, this spirit spring must be the treasure." What a pity this sovereign has been cultivating like a maniac for the past 2 years, hardly ever leaving its lair. If it weren't for that one thing, this sovereign might never have found this spirit spring in its lifetime. After saying this, it slowly submerged into the spirit spring. It felt incredibly blissful. As its colossal body sank deeper and deeper, a great deal of spring water splashed out. When it finally climbed back ashore, the black iron turtle realized that all those dead, rank 2 and 3 monsters without their demon cores were not worth a second glance. Most of the rank 4 monsters had been killed when it advanced to rank 5. Now the rank 4 tier was almost empty, and the strongest monsters left were only rank 3. Even though they were dead, they didn't catch the black iron turtle's attention at all. In its eyes, the spirit spring in front of it was the only thing that mattered. The black iron turtle had never liked moving around, and this precious land was perfect for its cultivation. In the far distance, the 2 flood snakes managed to escape to safety, but they did not return to their old cave. Instead, they continued deeper into the dense forest. "Don't you dare die on me, I'm coming for you!" Xu Jinlong gasped for breath, his whole body racked with exhaustion, agonizing pain shooting through him. "Don't be scared, I'll find a way to save you." He had no idea how long he'd been running, until the stars blazed bright across the sky, and a crescent moon lit up the endless heavens. Xu Jinlong felt the faint life force of the snake behind him, fading fast. He scanned his surroundings, making sure the level 5 monster hadn't chased them. Before finally coming to a stop, he gently laid Murong Wange flat on the ground. Her flood dragon serpent body twisted and contorted, covered in countless cracks and gashes, her blood long since clotted. Yet through the thick, hard scabs, he could faintly see her mangled flesh, organs, and white bones beneath. Her eyes were tightly closed. She was breathing out more than in, having slipped into a coma. Xu Jinlong felt her faint heartbeat carefully and let out a small sigh of relief. It wasn't that he didn't want to stop earlier. He was just scared the level 5 monster would catch up. If it had, they'd both be dead meat. My demonic power should ease your wounds. At the very least, it'll stabilize you. Ignoring the searing pain in his own internal organs, Xu Jinlong moved to touch her, and the remaining demonic power in his body surged into hers, slowly and gently, with extreme caution. This was the first time he'd ever used his demonic power to heal someone. Before reaching level 3 monster rank, one couldn't channel demonic power outside the body, but it could be infused through physical contact, via the acupoints. A faint stream of gentle demonic power entered the green snake's body through one of her acupoints and flowed into her blood vessels. Monsters didn't have the innate meridians that humans did. Even if some humans had blocked or fully opened meridians from birth, monsters never even got the chance to have blocked ones. But on the flip side, monsters had incredibly strong physical bodies. No cultivation needed, just eat enough and you'd grow stronger. But all in all, meridians were still better. What's the use of just being tough? Being able to beat others is the real truth. The demonic power coursed through her blood vessels all over her body, and whenever it reached a wound, the white demonic power seeped into it, starting to mend the damage. Her flesh and skin visibly knit back together, forming scabs over the injuries. External wounds are easy to heal. Internal injuries are a different story. Murong Wangi's internal organs were severely damaged. Even their displacement was the least of it. They'd shift back into place on their own with a few days of rest. But her organs were covered in cracks. Mending the organ tissue was easy, but healing the deep internal damage was far harder. It would take a long time of rest at the very least. But luckily, Xu Jinlong's demonic power was no ordinary demonic power. It was pure demonic power, purified by his cultivation method. The power granted by his upgraded Flood Dragon bloodline. It was far from ordinary, no. This is too slow. I need to feed her a few drops of my essence blood. This crazy girl's pretty pitiful. She just got back to normal a few days ago, and now she's beaten to a pulp again. Xu Jinlong sighed inwardly, pity filling his eyes. Once her external flesh had fully healed, he began to prepare to feed her his essence blood. He gritted his teeth, and the demonic power in his body roiled, surging straight toward his heart, his vital spot. His massive heart was squeezed under the pressure, speeding up his blood flow, and under the immense force. A few drops of dark red, glowing essence blood were forced out of his heart. A few drops, 3 drops. Can't push for more. 3 drops it is, Xu Jinlong gasped for air, as if he'd suffered a severe injury himself. 3 drops of blood oozed from the dragon scale the system had rewarded him with. He hastily brought the dragon scale to Murong Wanga's lips, and as the drops fell slowly, the essence blood landed directly on the green snake's lips. Before she could even absorb it on her own, the essence blood seeped into her flesh on its own. 3 drops. If I don't level up fast soon, it'll take me 3 whole years to replenish these 3 drops of essence blood. Xu Jinlong let out a bitter laugh, utterly helpless. Essence blood replenishes faster when your cultivation advances. But if he hadn't used the essence blood for Murong Wanga, she'd definitely be bedridden for years. Flood dragon serpents, all monsters, have long lifespans anyway. A few years is nothing to them. As a flood dragon serpent himself, Xu Jinlong's lifespan was already 1,000 years. Of course, that was the lifespan granted by his bloodline, unrelated to his cultivation realm. Monsters are monsters, beasts are beasts. The two can't be confused. Shortly after Murong Wanga ingested the 3 drops of essence blood, moments later, a faint glow appeared on the surface of her body. A white glow, her internal cultivation method seemingly activated by the 3 drops of essence blood, starting to circulate on its own. At the same time, the essence blood merged with her body and began to heal her injuries. First her internal organs, mending from the inside out. Then her entire body's broken bones began to reset, healing back to wholeness. But the 3 drops of essence blood were soon used up, and all her injuries had healed about 70 to 80%. All right, she's not gonna die now. That's all that matters. I'm exhausted. Feeling her heartbeat grow steadily stronger and rhythmic, Xu Jinlong finally let out a complete sigh of relief. He collapsed onto the ground, his strength drained, and the searing pain and exhaustion in his body. The after effects of losing his essence blood hit him hard. An exhaustion like his energy had been completely drained. Slowly, his eyes began to close, his consciousness growing fuzzy, yet unconsciously. His divine ability, King of all beasts, activated on its own, releasing an invisible pressure that shielded the 2 snakes in the center. The 2 snakes lay unconscious, their auras completely unhidden. Powerful beings wouldn't be fazed by the pressure, and they'd still detect their auras. There was nothing he could do about that. But the pressure would drive away all the low-rank monsters, keeping them at bay, stopping them from approaching, Am I dead or alive? Did I even get hurt at all? It feels like that fight was just a dream. But the upgrade to my bloodline is real. She had no idea how much time had passed. When Murong Wangi slowly woke up, staring at her healed body, she couldn't help but wonder. And beside her, Shu Jinlong was woken up by her muttering to herself. He hissed and slowly opened his mouth. His fangs long since vanished during his evolution. It still hurt like hell. His internal organs hadn't fully shifted back into place yet. It's not quite pain, but it's not pain either. This kind of feeling is the worst. He's finally awake, even though I just woke up too. He still made me wait this long, Murong Wange thought indignantly. This crazy girl. Can't she appreciate what I did for her at all? My essence blood was wasted for nothing. No way! Next time I do something for her, I have to make sure she sees it. Shu Jinlong clicked his tongue inwardly. Turns out hard work really does go unnoticed if you don't show it off. As he was grumbling to himself, Murong Wange's eyes grew unexpectedly complicated. I have to admit, this damn loach has helped me a great deal. I can already sense it, lingering inside my body. The faint trace of his demonic power and the scent of his essence blood, even though I've absorbed them. Their aura still remains, but I am grateful to you, little loach. While I was unconscious, you spared no effort to mend my wounds. I'll keep this kindness in mind. This demonic power in me. How could I ever mix up which part is yours and which is mine? Murong Wange suddenly fell into a deep melancholy. Her heart was filled with gratitude, yet her face wore a complicated expression. System detected. A shift in Murong Wange's mental state. Favorability increased by 10 points. Current favorability of Murong Wange towards the host, 21 points. Holy crap, this crazy chick's finally got a conscience. At this rate, winning her over is just around the corner. Then I'll get what I want in no time. Shu Jinlong was stunned. Never in a million years did he expect that this brush with death would double her favor. Turns out all that sweet talking was for nothing. Only meet her needs when she's in trouble, and you get what you want. Makes perfect sense, totally perfect. Just as Shu Jinlong was about to get up and stretch, Murong Wange suddenly changed her tune. If this isn't a dream, and my injuries are real, then I must take back the spirit altar. This trip, life or death, is for the spirit altar that the little loach and I fought so hard for. That bastard took it from us without breaking a sweat. I need to get even. How dare he hurt me this badly? That bastard has to die. I'll never swallow this humiliation. Murong Wange's resolve hardened, flames of fury blazing in her eyes. She glanced one last time at Shu Jinlong, still lying on the ground, unhealed. Then she turned and walked away without a second glance. She could smell the scent of the path she'd come from, and now she was determined to take back that treasure trove. Murong Wange believed that the goddess of luck would always be by her side.